So, Black Widow is going to drop pretty soon. One of two Marvel movies this year, which is crazy. They've been like sandwiching all kinds of movies in yearly. This is a light year. I don't know if that has to do with Disney Plus and the shows they're putting on there. WandaVision comes out this year. I'm actually looking forward to WandaVision. I think that show's going to be weird and fun. It'll be different than the standard Marvel formula, which I think is really getting stale, by the way. We'll see how the MCU fares as time goes on. But at least Black Widow looks pretty good. It looks like a fun spy movie. It has like a Winter Soldier feel to it, which I like. I personally think Winter Soldier is probably the best Marvel movie ever made. Was my favorite. And, that has a lot to do with it being like a spy espionage movie. Black Widow was, of course, in that movie. She's been in a lot of movies, Iron Man 2 and so on and so on. And she should have been the first Marvel female movie. Unfortunately, though, that title went to Captain Marvel, and there's nothing we can do about it now. But I am looking forward to this film. I hope it's good. I would rather it be good than bad, and it looks good. They're not really running any kind of weird, strange, woke marketing with it. So as long as the whole CV thing doesn't affect it, I think it'll do fairly well. I hope it does well. I think the character finally deserves her due. But apparently, according to Scarlett Johansson, everything for this movie is thanks to Captain Marvel that this movie can be made, which I totally disagree with. And I hate how, we all have to bend the knee to Captain Marvel. Like, Captain Marvel was some groundbreaking film. Now, to her credit, she mentions Wonder Woman, which was nice to see because a lot of people don't even mention Wonder Woman. A lot of people will say, oh, Captain Marvel was the first real superhero film. Like I said a million times, they treat Wonder Woman like the redheaded stepchild of superhero films because they don't like Gal Gadot because of the things she said, and she doesn't quite bend the knee as beautifully as Brie Larson. Look at Brie Larson being a good little woke celebrity, running around doing that Nissan commercial and so on and so on. So, they love her. They're going to push her even though no one really likes her. She literally has the acting range of a plank of wood. But anyway, so here's the quote we have. This comes from an article. Black Widow Johansson says female heroes shouldn't be Batman in heels. And this is what she says. She says, while advocating for better female representation in superhero movies, Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson said female heroes should be more than Batman in heels. I agree with that. No one wants to just see a female version of some dude character. You can try to tell people at Marvel that, though they won't listen, as in the comics, they literally gender swap everybody. But here's what she said. This is what I didn't like. I hope that this film continues pushing that boundary so that we can actually have more female superheroes who are inherently female and aren't just Batman in heels or whatever, she told Entertainment Weekly. She also attributed the production of Black Widow to the recent successes of Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, saying that the film would not have been as substantial if it had been made 10 years ago. I totally disagree. Why wouldn't it have been substantial? The biggest thing with those two, well, more so with Captain Marvel, is, yeah, we finally got a female Marvel movie. That could have all went to Black Widow. And you know what? They always talk about, every time a lady movie gets made. I always like to point out there was no outrage for Wonder Woman. No one cared. Everyone loved that movie because they didn't market it as slapping dudes in the face. And it looks like Black Widow isn't doing that either. Black Widow just looks like it's like, hey, everybody, we want you to come see this movie. We want everybody to come watch Black Widow, which is how this is how a movie should be marketed. It shouldn't be a crazy thing that we hail as a great thing. But, in 2020, it's like, we have to judge movies like, do they slap me in the face or not? Is this movie going to be a lecture? And it doesn't seem like it. But I totally disagree with that statement. This movie could have been that movie that really set the standard. And unfortunately, it comes after Captain Marvel. So now everybody has to bend it. Oh, thank you, Brie Larson. You really made it easier for me. Speaking of Captain Marvel, Kevin Smith out there crying again. He cries for everything, Cries at every Star Wars movie. I'm pretty sure he cried at Captain Marvel. It's like, when he lost his weight, what happened to him, man? I don't know. But Kevin Smith celebrates the first anniversary of Captain Marvel, which is funny. So I don't know if you knew that or not, but we are officially at the anniversary mark for everyone's favorite Trash Fire. And of course, Kevin Smith out there shilling it up, celebrating that what he thinks is the greatest Marvel movie ever made. Movie's a pile of trash. You know, I really do wonder if you had taken Captain Marvel, you know, and not sandwiched it between two humongous Avengers movies, how would that movie have fared? You know, you're taking Infinity War. At the end of Infinity War, you run that movie like Captain Marvel's the savior. Literally, like Sam Jackson's got the beeper going and he calls Brie Larson, and then the movie ends. And then we have Endgame coming, and they made it seem like you absolutely need to see Captain Marvel. And I think that was one of the reasons, because Infinity War, I still stand by this, is probably the Empire Strikes Back of this generation. I think it's a better movie than Endgame, to be honest. I really do. So you sandwich this movie in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. You know, I think you could have put a turd dancing to a song and slapped a Marvel logo on it, and it would have done well in that time frame. So it's going to be really funny to see how well Captain Marvel 2 does, because you don't have, you know, a 15-year, however long it was build up, you know, of movies to get you over that hump. I think Captain Marvel 2 is going to be a disaster. I can't wait for stuff to start rolling on in that movie. Oh, the cringe. The cringe is going to be dialed up to 5, 10, 20. It's going to be a beautiful time for my channel and everybody else's channel. We are going to have fun roasting that. But Kevin Smith out here celebrating, crying, celebrating his love of Brie Larson, wanting to bend down, lick her boots, as everyone else in Hollywood does. And I absolutely can't stand it. I cannot stand Brie Larson. I cannot stand this Captain Marvel hype. She's a terrible character. The comics don't sell, and that movie sucks. And I hate seeing people like Scarlett Johansson say that if it wasn't for Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, my film wouldn't be here. Yes, it would, and it would have done just as well without that stupid ass movie. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Really looking forward to the release of Black Widow. And, you know, it's going to be funny because there won't be a million Birds of Prey articles on this film. There won't be people out there running around talking about how people are mad about it. But you know what's funny? When Captain Marvel 2 drops, Wonder Woman and Black Widow will be forgotten. And they'll act like, you know, people hate female-led films again. They'll act like that. They'll totally forget that this film and Wonder Woman 2 had nothing but people singing praises about it and talked about how they were excited about it. It's going to be funny to see that get ignored, and we'll bring it up again at that time. But until then, enjoy your Captain Marvel day, and thank the Lord that Captain Marvel got made, because you wouldn't have a Black Widow movie, according to Scarlett Johansson, without it. Anyway, leave me your comments. What do you think about this, guys? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. And throw a like up. Share the video. Remember, comments are important. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.